The stupidest thing I could have ever done was judge a person because the way they looked, of how they looked, sorry. And I don't mean in the blue pill way of, yeah, he looks good um, because of his personality, because of how many people he's helped. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean to say is, just hit my arm on the desk. What I meant to say is, I used to judge people based on the black pill. Like everyone I looked at would always strike me as this guy is this girl is that, this guy is this because her eyes are like that, because his height is that, because he did this. Every time I walked in school, outside, um, just anywhere really, on the internet too, I would always judge the person based on the black pill, based on looks. And like a very bad person, I would always reflect my character when talking to these people based on whether they were attractive to the black pill or not. Fortunate, let's say. I would always correlate being attractive to being nice, being smarter, being more understanding, etc. Things like that. And that's that was a big reason to why I missed out on opportunities of finding new people to talk to, new connections, finding new knowledge that I could use in my life that would be very beneficial for me. And it was just because I didn't want to engage in a conversation with somebody I didn't find fortunate in the black pill. I don't want to say that I found attractive because I was talking to guys too. I'm not gonna, you know. No, I'm just joking. Because I don't want to say attractive because attractiveness is more than just objective looks, right? It's a big part, of course, but in the black pill, it's the black pill metrics I'd like to refer objective beauty as, not attractiveness, because attractiveness does not have to be the black pill, alright? But essentially, I would miss out on conversations with possibly interesting people, and it was not always because they were less attractive. Sometimes it'd be because they were more attractive. I would correlate, and this is something I know a lot of guys do, correlate good looking girls with being mean, like, you know, the B word. Sometimes even a bimbo, if you know what I mean. And I wouldn't even give them a chance. Not talking to them or like trying to date them or whatever, but just like listening to what they have to say and seeing them as people. Because what I've been taught through the black pill is that good looking girls usually they're a little egotistical, you know. And I mean, I guess same with dudes, but a good looking girl is usually mean, is what I was taught. And, the problem with that is that they might not be. They might not be mean. They might actually like you, even. But that is how I conducted judging people based off of objectives according to the black pill. Now the problem, well, I've already told you the problem with that. But in general, before the black pill even became like a trend, because the black pill's been around for a while, but before it became a trend, people tend, like a lot of people, subconsciously, consciously, whatever, tend to judge people based off of looks and looks alone. You get more opportunities with looks. You get more listening ears with looks. You get more empathy with looks, so on. And I'd say I've seen it firsthand, I guess, with the video I was talking about before. Um, and what tends to be the case is when you see an attractive person, you attach that attractive person to attractive traits. Like I said, being nicer, more intelligent, coherent, masculine, whatever. Or feminine if it's a girl. And if you yourself are attractive, then that's, I guess, a good thing for the most part. But if you're the person judging the other person based off of their looks, then it's not good for you. Because when you do the same thing vice versa to a less fortunate person, according to the black pill, then maybe that person has something on their mind that'll change your life forever. Maybe the person knows that problem with acne that you've been wondering about for months, but you couldn't find any videos talking about your specific problem. That person might have had it. But no, let's talk to Chad or Sharon instead. Maybe they have the right answer, even though they have no problems with acne. They've never had it. So you have to stop correlating attractive people with attractive traits. Now, they might have it because the attractive people that take care of themselves usually have better traits. But the people that look like they were more fortunate, maybe let's not judge them too early, too nicely. But more importantly, let's not judge the bad looking people, sorry, the bad looking people with bad traits. Because maybe they have something you never thought you would ever hear. And so, that was the wrong side. So, excuse me. So, you might think I'm gonna say don't judge people. Let me just do this so you can see my traps. When I say don't judge people based off of looks, I don't mean don't judge them at all. Alright? Because there is a way to rightfully judge a person. If you see a person in a hijab, then you wouldn't think they're a Christian, for example. So, yeah, there is rightful judgment, I guess. And what I'm trying to say is, give me a second. You judge a person based on getting to know the person. And yes, first-hand impressions are important. Like if you see a guy that's overweight, you're not going to think he's going to the gym. Or he's just started, maybe. That'd be the only case. If you see a guy that's wearing a dress, you wouldn't think... I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm trying not to say something too offensive because YouTube might take it down. But what I'm trying to say is rightfully judge a person by getting to know the person, by seeing how they talk to others, and most importantly, if you get the chance, you get to know a person when they're at their most desperate. Okay? At their most desperate, like when they're out of money, like they have no money at all. See if the person will do something rash, you know, something that you thought this person would never do in any other case, but now they're desperate. That's a good way to see how a person actually is, the morals of a person deep inside. And that's how you judge a person. Not by the looks, objective looks. If they have muscles, then you can judge them. You can say that they go to the gym, for example. But if a guy has blue eyes, you don't think the guy. Wait. Because there's like a pyramid of eye colors, right? In the black field. And it's like the lighter the color is, like if it's black eyes, right? They're at the bottom, you know. And then at top of the pyramid it's like ice blue, you know. And they correlate it with what was it? With their profession. So like kings would be on the top. Kings, princes, like in the middle it'd be like soldiers, you know, lawyers and stuff like that. And then at the bottom it'd be like slaves. And yeah, that's a real thing. So don't do that is what I'm trying to tell you. But don't not judge people, cuz you can't judge a person by his or her personality. What they show to you in a public setting is not their personality. It's the one that they're showing. It's their filtered personality. And so the problem with this is that as you start trying this method that I've told you, your brain is still going to judge them based off of appearance. Like when you walk in school and you're like, hey man, how are you? And it's a person that you think is less fortunate, right? Your brain's going to tell you, oh, he probably sucks. This guy has nothing important to give to me, you know? Your brain's going to say that. So what you do is you either ignore it, or even better, you train your brain to stop talking like that. And the way you do this is by seeing how you look at people in different perspectives, you know? And I'm not sure, but I think I talk about this in my course. Maybe. Link in the description. I just wanted to tell you that. If you want a deeper journey, then check out my course just for you, right? But whatever. That's what's gonna happen in the beginning, and then the more you stop, the more you try not to judge people based off of appearance, then your brain's slowly gonna start readjusting to your values, you know, and what you value, and it'll eventually be silenced. And yeah, that's what I want to say today. Check out the course. I've been Adrian. You know me, or you're about to know me. I guess this is one of the first videos, so bye.